Hey, what's up? Welcome to episode 11 of the Business Insurance Made Easy podcast. I'm Trey Shields, joined as always by Micah Salas.
What's up, everybody?
And the mission of this podcast is pretty simple. It's to simplify business insurance and risk management concepts so that you can make more informed decisions. And today in episode 11, we are going to tackle the question, how to avoid being a victim of rate creep.
Ooh.
Micah, take it away.
You might be asking yourself, what's rate creep?
What is rate creep?
We're going to trademark that term. So what's rate creep? This is what it is. Let's say you're loyal. You are listeners, you're loyal people, right? So you want to be loyal to your insurance carriers and stick with them. And so you've been with them 5-6 years, and every year maybe you get a 1% increase, a 3% increase, nothing enough to make you, lose sleep over. And then, it's 5-6 years in, you test the market and you realize, holy cow, we're, 40% higher than we should be. That's rate creep, right? So why does this happen? Well, there's a lot of different reasons, I think. But one, I don't blame the insurance company, first of all, because you are listeners, you're in business. If you have a client and you can kind of get a little bit more profitable on each client every year, wouldn't you take that 1 or 2% increase? Probably. So I put the blame squarely on your agent because it's their job to be your advocate. It's their job to fight for you. It's their job to be holding this insurance company accountable and to be advising you and to know the marketplace to help you avoid becoming a victim of rate creep.
Boom.
You can't tell.
Roasted.
Yeah. I'm passionate about this stuff, man.
I agree 100%.
Why else do you, our audience, why do you pay 15% to a broker if they're not going to at least do this? So
it's just, the bottom line is it's just laziness. It's just, add it into hashtag, if your agent is doing this, fire them. It's just them not doing their job, going out to the markets, having any type of strategic approach. They just keep renewing you with the same guy, and the insurance carriers keep hiking it up. So 100%, it is on your agent. It is not on the carrier.
Yep. And, it's really, really that simple. So, pick an agent you trust, have conversations with them, hold them accountable. But ultimately, don't blame yourself. Don't blame the insurance company. Blame your agent. And this is probably one of those reasons, Trey.
Absolutely.
One of those reasons.
Just
you know what I'm good at.
Just to dovetail. So as far as like how to actually avoid it, holding your agent accountable, we've talked about this in multiple episodes. It's your agent needs to be coming to you at renewal time with, a marketing report. This is who we went to. This is what we approached them with. This is what they came back with. So, if your guy's just showing up with a price, that's not what they need to be doing. You need to be having a dialogue with your agent about how you're going to approach the markets, what resulted from that. And so everybody's on the same page. And if you do that, that's how you avoid it. There's really no reason that you should be getting creeped up by the carriers.
Yeah, and I would just add one more thing. Ask what the market's doing. Because you may think, 2% increase, that's awesome. But what if you could have had a 20% decrease that year? Because there was some hot market out there, or that's what the market's doing right now. There's just a lot of capacity and people are jumping in, wanting to write new business.
Real quick, we talked about this in another episode, but I think this is just a great example. And, you never know where anybody's picking up, starting to listen. So we talk about this in another episode, but why don't you give the listeners an example of what you did with the construction client, even though you kept them with the same carrier?
Yeah, that's a great example. So took over an account via broker of record letter, was hired, 5 months prior to the renewal date. Went through the renewal process. It's a hard market right now. The incumbent carrier, been with them for 4 or 5 years. And we get the pricing back. They had their standard 7% increase. And they said, well, this is what's going on in the marketplace. Well, we being, good agents did our job, held them accountable, got another quote. And essentially, it was significantly less, right? So we went back to the incumbent carrier and said, this is the deal, man, you're way, way high. Anyways, they ended up dropping their price, and we ended up actually saving them off of the renewal price, $40,000.
Yeah, same carrier.
And I'd say about half the time my agency was hired, we saved people significant amounts of money keeping them with the same carrier.
So. Absolutely. And this isn't a commercial for you by any means.
No.
It's just, we just want to give you the example of a testament to what we're saying. I mean, your guy or gal needs to be out there and going to work for you, not just renewing the same people every year because that's the easy thing to do.
Amen, brother.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this episode. Guys, gals, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you liked what we had to say, please consider heading on over to iTunes and leaving us a rating and review. We would really appreciate it. And before I let you go on this episode, I just want to leave everyone with some food for thought. And I'm going to throw this question out to Mike and see what you have to say. Is cereal really just a breakfast soup?
Oh my gosh, man. I thought this was insurance made simple. That's a tough question.
This is an existential question of our time.
Is cereal really a soup? I would say, yeah. Because the soup, you throw in chunky things. You got meat and celery and all that stuff, and then you put some broth in there and you call it soup. So I guess cereal is a sugary soup.
All right. That's it for this episode.
Adios, everyone.